Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Public Cloud Design Tips and Tricks. In this channel, we generally discuss about public cloud design problem statements and the related solution. Today, we are going to discuss about Azure Resource Manager ARM. What is the problem statement? How to implement infrastructure as a code in public cloud. And the native solution which has been provided by Microsoft Azure is Azure Resource Manager or Azure Bicep. AWS has provided AWS CloudFormation. Google Cloud has Google Cloud Deployment Manager. There are also cloud agnostic solutions like Terraform, which is also available in the market that people are using it. Now, before that, let's try to understand few of the terminologies within the Azure, like resource group, subscriptions, ARM, resource provider. Let's try to understand in a realistic example. Let you are settling down in a city and you want to buy a house in that particular city. Then in that case, you have to make an agreement with the builder to buy a house in the apartment. And then after the agreement, you'll get the key to enter into that house. And this by the main door, you'll come to your house, and inside the flat, you have to have the furnitures where you have to keep it inside your flat. Furnitures like sofa, TVs. So let's try to compare this scenario with respect to Azure World. So when you are talking about Azure resources, which is nothing but the furnitures, where you want to create a database or like a sofa, and that is nothing but a furniture. And where exactly you are keeping the furniture? You are keeping the furniture inside the resource group, which is nothing but your flat. And when exactly you are entering into your flat, you are entering into a flat which is there inside the apartment, which is nothing but the subscription. And inside the subscription, if you want to enter, then you have to have the key, which is nothing but the resource provider. And to get the key, you have to have the agreement, which is nothing but the Azure Resource Manager. So if you compare the entire ecosystem, the furnitures are nothing but the resources, rooms are nothing but the resource groups, the main door is nothing but the subscriptions, key is nothing but the resource provider, and ARM is nothing but the agreement. So Azure Resource Manager means it is the deployment and management service for Azure. It provides a management layer that enables you to create, update, and delete resources in your Azure account. So with this agreement, you are building your ecosystem inside your Azure world. Now let's try to understand why do we need Azure Resource Manager. You can think about a scenario. When you want to provision a service like a database, then your developer is creating the database by going into the portal. And if the developer is leaving, then another developer has to understand how to create it by going into the portal. It also takes time. And to do that, what if we proceduralize, or we can create a document out of it, a declarative document out of it, where we will define how to create that particular resource, which is nothing but a JSON file, which will be created by your developer. And if at all any other developer is coming, they can reuse this JSON file to create that particular resources again. So it will be faster to market. That means faster deployment, more done in less time. Efficient software development cycle, like reliable, consistent, and developer is in control. So these are all best benefit of infrastructure as a code. Now let's try to understand different benefits of ARM template. With ARM template, you will manage your infrastructure through declarative templates. That is nothing but a JSON file where you declare it which resource you are going to create. Deploy and manage and monitor your resources, all the resources your solution as a group rather than handling these resources individually. So you can club everything into a single file and you provision that file and it will create all the resources that you need. Redeploy is your solution throughout the development lifecycle and have confidence on your resource are deployed in a consistent state. You also define the dependencies between the resources, like if you want to create a application gateway, it depends upon a key vault which has the certificate, then you can define the dependency between the services in the declarative mode inside the ARM template. You can realize the Azure RBAC control, which is known as role-based access control, is native integrated into your ARM modules. You can apply tags to your resources via the ARM template and also clarify your organization billing and view the cost in an efficient way via the ARM modules. So these are all base benefit that you are getting with ARM. There are various template designing that generally multiple organizations follows, that you can see a single tier organization or single tier deployment where you will combine all your resources. That means let you are creating a app service, SQL database, virtual machine, you can club everything into a template, and when you are deploying the template, the entire ecosystem will be created. There is also approaches that others are also following, like parent template, where you can have the nested template, like creating a virtual machine, creating a web app, creating a database. These are all individual modules, or these are individual files which will be linked to the parent template, and if you want to modify a particular module, then others will not be affected. So this is called as hierarchical approach. And the last one is individual approach, where you can define three different templates where you will provision your services individually without affecting each other. So it is all up to the developer choice what system that they want to build, what is their particular need. Based on that, you can choose one template designing pattern. How you can deploy the ARM templates? The deployment options are like, you can do it via the Azure portal. You can go to the portal, you can upload the file, and you can deploy it. You can use Azure CLI, PowerShell, REST API, button in the GitHub repository also it is available, and also Azure Cloud Shell is also available. So with all these options, you can deploy ARM templates into your Azure environment. Now the main part is what are all different components ARM is having. The first component is parameter file. So it provides the value during your deployment that allow the same template to be reused with different environments. Like you want to deploy it to your development, and the same template you want to deploy it to the higher environment, then you can parameterize your values, and based on that environment, you can select which parameter to be picked up, so that the base template will remain the same, and based on the parameter the file will be deployed. Second is variables. When you are talking about variables, it defines the values that are reused in your templates. They can be constructed from parameter values. And then user defined functions, which is nothing but the customized function that simply simplify your templates in an efficient way. Resources are nothing but the specify the resource to deploy. That means you want to create a database, you want to create a key vault, you can define different resources in the template, and based on that it will create it. And outputs is nothing but the outcome of that particular execution. Let your outcome of app service, you want to hold it as a managed identity, which is nothing but a services and managed identity, which will be created after creating the app service. You can hold that value in the output section of that particular ARM template. These are all data that I have gathered by following the Microsoft document. They have written really well. I would highly recommend to go through the document. You will find a lot of information. These are all fundamental information that we have shared. If you like our video, then don't forget to subscribe our channel and keep sharing. Thank you.